Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Meek again. Okay, you guys, so I think most of you know by now, but if you go on Foxy LV Angel's page, she posted some pictures of the Louis Vuitton Spring Summer women's accessories. She posted shoes, sunglasses, bags, and smaller accessories. I thought it could be nice for us to just kind of go through them together. And then I want to tell you kind of my sort of takeaways and my feelings of what I learned from Louis Vuitton when I went traveling in Paris earlier this month. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. Let's start off here with, I think, my favorite part of the Spring Summer Women's collection, which are these sunglasses. I think the sunglasses look really, really good. If you want to see pricing info, just go on her Instagram, you can go check it out. But I must say, I really, really liked the look of a lot of these sunglasses. They look very fresh, they look really summery, and they look perfect for spring, summer. I like them. According to her page, they're going to be available from the 18th of February onwards. I think these are super cute and I really, really like them. So that's the good stuff. The good stuff that I have to say so far about what she posted. Now let's talk about what I'm not sure about. I remember when the spring summer collection came out, there was so much chatter on all of the Louis Vuitton groups and all of the Louis Vuitton tea pages pertaining to this mini red Dauphine. People were like, oh, it's not going to get made, it's not going to be manufactured, it's not going to happen. And it's being manufactured, it's going on sale. Now, I can't tell what fabric or material this is. I cannot tell. I don't know whether it's leather. I don't know whether it's not leather. I have no idea what it is. However, it is a mini Dauphine that is priced higher, okay, than the large reverse monogram Dauphine, which is 2,700 euros. I believe this is 3,300. I remember seeing this on the catwalk, loving it and thinking it was really, really cool. I was very curious about this idea of a colorful Dauphine that is also kind of like transparent. I really, really liked it, and I was very like, ooh, I'm curious about that. But I just couldn't believe the pricing when I saw it on her page. I was like, oh my gosh, 3,300 euros, and we have no idea. Is it leather? Is it another material? Is it, you know, a fabric mix? Is it leather and other fabrics or whatever? It's definitely not canvas, I'm pretty sure about that. And I was so curious about the way that this particular item has been priced. There are also these other kind of transparent bucket bags. I think one of them's like an Alma or something. They're transparent. These ones remind me of the Chanel ones that Chanel did, of those, Chanel did those flaps that had like, they kind of had like that like Elias style cutout, you know, and then they had like a pouch inside. I think those were from like 2019, I don't remember exactly. These ones remind me of those. I think these are interesting. I think you need to see them in person. I'm interested in those. I feel like you need to see them in person, because I feel like when you see things in person, it's a bit different. These pictures, I saw them, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about them. It's kind of like, you know, but then when I first saw them, I was like, oh, I don't like anything on here, you know, except the mini Dauphine. And even that, I wasn't even sure if I liked it because I was shocked at the pricing. But then before filming, I looked through the pictures again and I was like, oh, actually, you know what? I kind of like the idea of these kind of transparent bucket, like a transparent bag that's like black, but it's a little bit transparent. That's interesting to me, and there's something about it that I like. Again, just very curious to know how these will look like in person. I have found with Louis Vuitton's products, they photograph, just like the way they photograph isn't good, but when you see them in real life, they look so amazing. Some of you had told me before, like, you know, why do I like the Dauphine so much? Like when you see the Dauphine in real life, it's a truly beautiful handbag and it really does stand out. I'm kind of hoping that that's the same for these ones. The only ones that I kind of like are those black bags that are transparent. Everything else here, I'm like, oh, I don't know. There's also Petite Malle, which is like a little bit longer. It's interesting, very curious about that. There's something about this Petite Malle, like the length of it, that reminds me of the Kelly cut from Hermes. I'm very curious about it. It's not as extreme as the Kelly cut, because the Kelly cut literally is like this way, that way, but there's something about it that's interesting. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this one as well. Now I wanted to talk to you guys about the shoes, like the shoes as well. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. I actually like Louis Vuitton shoes after going to the Champs-Elysees and seeing their shoes. They're very well made, but I don't know about these. I am not sure about these. I'm just so curious to know, like, who is wearing these shoes? Like, if you buy Vuitton shoes, tell me what you think about them. I actually like a lot of Louis Vuitton shoes. I'm just very curious about these ones because there's something about them that does look kind of odd to me. I don't know what it is. So in general, what's my kind of like preview of the spring summer bits and pieces that we've seen here? It's a mixed bag. I feel like these are just going to look way better in person. Like when we see them in person, I feel like that's when you can kind of make the judgment. So far right now, I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, but I do know that Louis Vuitton's products like photograph so much better in real life. Those like in real life pictures always look better for Louis Vuitton, whereas Chanel's like studio pictures on the website are a mess, honey, okay? And Chanel's like in real life pictures, some of them can look good, and then in other lighting it's a mess. Okay, so it just depends. So I'm very curious to know what you guys think about this. Make sure you tell me. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, hit notifications, and follow all of my socials. They're linked below. By the way, before I forget, I actually wrote an article about the Dior price increase because I'm not going to film a video about it, but I wrote an article about it on my blog. So if you want to read about the price increase, it's not that detailed. I don't know a lot about Dior. I just heard a few bits and pieces, so I decided to just kind of write a quick article. You can read about it in the description below, but a few bags have gone up, and yeah, that's pretty much what you need to know about that. Okay, so now I wanted to talk to you guys about my kind of experience, you know, shopping at all the Louis Vuitton boutiques and concessions in Paris, the ones I visited. I wanted to kind of tell you like the things which I learned about Louis Vuitton when I went to Paris. I feel like it's really different experiencing the boutique and the brand in their home country, home turf. I feel like it's completely different. So, because you know me, you know how I am, you know I love history, because I love to keep you guys up to date. So, you know, if someone starts talking about Louis Vuitton, you're going to correct them, because you know you can trust me to come with the historical details. So, as you guys know, Louis Vuitton was born in the countryside. He left home at 13. He heads off to Paris. It took him 3 years to get to Paris. He was 16 when he arrived there, and he started becoming an apprentice in luggage making. However, even though Paris is kind of like where the idea for the Louis Vuitton business was started, the sort of his home is this town called Arnay-sur-Seine, but the business's heart and soul, without a shadow of a doubt, is in Paris. There's no doubt about that. I feel like when you experience Louis Vuitton in Paris, it really helps you to understand where this brand is going today. So I wanted to just kind of give you guys a few takeaways I have seen and basically learned. First of all, I feel like maybe we've been thinking about this wrong when it pertains to canvas. All those videos that people filmed, me included, about canvas being discontinued and all of this. I feel like Louis Vuitton kind of set us on a wild goose chase and was happy to know that people are thinking canvas is being discontinued. Canvas isn't being discontinued, but I believe it's being de-emphasized. I feel like maybe they felt like canvas just was getting too much attention, and by canvas I mean the monogram canvas, the damier ébène, the damier azur. I think it's being de-emphasized in handbags, but the actual like patterns of the canvas, i.e. the damier ébène, the damier azur, the monogram canvas, the damier graphite, they're actually alive and kicking in all of the Louis Vuitton boutiques I went to and all of the Louis Vuitton department store concessions. I realized when I was in Paris that Louis Vuitton are de-emphasizing the material, but they're not de-emphasizing the canvas like style and print. So for example, okay, the whole point of the monogram canvas was that Louis Vuitton's son, okay, he created the monogram canvas pattern because he was actually trying to fight counterfeiters, because Louis Vuitton created the damier and his son George created the monogram. When you go to the Louis Vuitton boutiques in Paris, what you see is you see the damier everywhere, okay? You see the monogram everywhere, okay? But you don't necessarily see it in a handbag. For example, when I went to the La Samaritaine concession for Louis Vuitton, I saw these really cool damier azur jeans. They looked really, really good. And the SA was like, what do you think about them? I was like, they look good. They look good. Okay, people come for LV's ready to wear. I like their clothing. I think it looks fantastic. They looked really, really good in real life. And then it hit me. They don't really have an issue with the prints, okay, of the canvas, but they don't want you to just buy the bag. The damier azur ready to wear is not the same as buying a damier azur canvas, even though canvas is where all of the sort of damier prints were basically inspired. They were inspired by the material. They've realized that they really want to kind of cultivate a lifestyle customer who doesn't really care about necessarily the origins of like where the things come from, but they care about the look and the sort of finish of everything. Because, for example, everyone talks about canvas all day, but to be honest with you, even when I was in Paris, the only canvas pieces I really saw people wearing was like the Speedy and the damier Ebene. Honestly, people really, really liked empreinte there. And I know so many of you are like, oh, Parisians don't wear Louis Vuitton. That is not true. Like when I was at all of the Louis Vuitton places I went to, the concessions and the department stores, there were many French people shopping in there. Okay, speaking French, fluent French speakers, Parisians shopping in there. But what I found was that people were really buying those like empreinte pieces. Like the on the go in empreinte is just like everywhere. The Louis Vuitton twist in leather, like I saw lots of people wearing that. And I feel like what they have realized is they've kind of transcended like what canvas originally meant, because the whole point of canvas was that it was a coated canvas for the luggages, right? For the trunks. So that they basically, Louis Vuitton innovated that so that people's luggages and trunks like would protect their items better. I feel like what they have realized is that people care more about the sort of the people who care more about lifestyle are the people who they want to represent their brand. In a way, clients are kind of like ambassadors for brands. If you're someone who only wants to buy the coated canvas pieces and the canvas pieces in general, are you really an ambassador for the Louis Vuitton brand in the sort of way that they view it? I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying from their point of view and playing devil's advocate here. Are you their kind of like ambassador? Or if you buy across all categories, you buy the damier azur jeans, you buy the empreinte leather, you buy the Speedies in canvas, but you also buy the costume jewelry, you also would consider maybe getting one of the hard-sided pieces. Which person represents the Louis Vuitton brand more from like a business perspective? Definitely the latter compared to someone who just buys canvas. I think that Louis Vuitton have been pivoting away from canvas only clients, and they want people who are going to buy everything. That's why I'm saying to you, they're not de-emphasizing canvas so much as they are evolving into a truly, truly lifestyle brand that can touch every single part of your life, okay? And that was the thing I noticed. Another thing I noticed when I was in Paris is, honestly, when you ask for other things that aren't canvas, like the CAs seem quite happy and excited. The first time I went there, I was buying gifts for my mum and Edwin. I was like, well, I'm going to try on some sunglasses. If you see that Louis Vuitton vlog, you probably have seen me trying them on. And the CA was like, yeah, try it on. You know, do you want to buy it? You know, he was like, he seemed really, really keen to like get me to try it on and to get me to really like enjoy like trying on their sunglasses. By the way, I think their sunglasses seem like quality sunglasses to me, if you ask me. And I think that that's really what they're going for. Like they want you to enjoy all parts of this brand. So if you, you know, ask for canvas, of course, they're going to happily sell it to you. But the people who are buying different things, that seems to be the sort of clientele that Louis Vuitton are looking for. To me, the impression I got from Louis Vuitton, it didn't even really matter the price point, because I bought the Louisette earrings, they're 310 euros. I wasn't spending thousands and thousands. I thought he was perfectly nice. I thought he was very professional. I felt like he was very engaged to sell me those earrings. I didn't feel like he was rushing me because the cost of the earrings isn't as high as maybe a fine jewelry piece. So that's something that I noticed as well. Another thing which I noticed when I was at Louis Vuitton, and I told you guys in my previous video, but I want to expand on it a little bit, is the idea of Louis Vuitton as your home. Basically, the brand is your home. That is really the biggest theme that I got from the La Samaritaine concession. Even the Champs-Élysées boutique. The Champs-Élysées boutique feels like a multi-story home. You know, you have different floors, their shoes, their clothes. It's very deliberate and it's so clever. Like particularly on the women's wear floor, you've got the shoes. When you get there, you see the shoes, you see your costume jewelry, and then you see the ready to wear. It really does feel like your home. You feel comfortable. You could easily spend ages in there just milling around, and you haven't even tried things on yet. People spend ages there. Something else I noticed when I was at the Champs-Élysées boutique, how comfortable it was just to sit there. At one point, he was like looking for the gifts for Edwin and my mum, and he was like, "Oh, I'll be right back. Just have a seat, sit down." At the places where the shoes were, basically. There were other clients trying on the shoes, and he was like, "Have a seat, wait for me, I'll be right back." I was trying to also film some clips for the channel, so I was walking around a bit, but at one point I sat down. Honey. The Louis Vuitton Champs-Élysées furniture is comfortable, okay? And I was observing people. You sit down, you feel comfortable. You're looking at all the merchandise that is available for purchase. It really does get you feeling super, super, super comfortable to sit there and spend a long time there and pick up other things to buy. So they know exactly what they're doing. Many of you are in different parts of the world, and you've all told me that a lot of the times when you go into the boutique, you don't really see the canvas bags. I won't disappoint you. In a lot of the Louis Vuitton boutiques when I was there, so please don't be like, "I was there yesterday, I saw lots of canvas." I'm just speaking about the beginning of January when I was there. In the Champs-Élysées store and the concessions as well, I did not see canvas directly on the floor in front of me. It's only when I asked about it that I was told it was available. Some of you have already told me that that's what Chanel does, you know, that Chanel does hide the classics and then they just put the seasonal bits and pieces out there. This is obviously by design. They really want you to see like the on-print pieces and the exotics first, and that is obviously what they want you to buy. They prefer that you buy the leather pieces and the exotics instead of buying the canvas options. I thought it was really interesting because particularly in the Champs-Élysées store, I really noted, for example, they had like the wave bag. I remember when he was showing me the Himalayan Capucine BB. I saw lots of Capucines in leather. I saw wave bags in leather. There was just so much leather everywhere. Of course, there were exotic pieces. There was a really beautiful croc petite boîte chapeau as well that day when he was showing me. Like, they really are making the point clear. Like, they don't want canvas to be something that people walk in and buy. And it's really meant to be something that I think that they want to see it as kind of like the dessert to your Louis Vuitton meal. They don't want canvas to be the meal itself. They want it to be the dessert. They really want you to buy like the ready-to-wear, the fine jewelry, the leather, the exotics, and the hard-sided luggages. Like, they want that to be the meal. And then you can be like, "Hey, can you give me a Neverfull in canvas, or can you give me the on-the-go GM in canvas?" That is what I think that they're doing. And we can talk about that all day. That doesn't mean that the canvas is being discontinued. Canvas is not discontinued. You can still buy it, but it's going to take a little bit more effort and a little bit more work for you to acquire it compared to maybe a few years ago when you could just walk into any boutique and see the Alma BB. I didn't see the Alma BB on any shelf in the Samaritaine concession, in any of the department store concessions that I went to, and at the Champs-Élysées. Don't forget, the Champs-Élysées boutique is the flagship store for Louis Vuitton, okay, worldwide. Big H has 24, Faubourg Saint-Honoré. Chanel's got 31 Rue Cambon, okay? Louis Vuitton's got 101 Avenue du Champs-Élysées. I did not see an Alma BB in canvas. The Alma is a classic style. It will never be discontinued in canvas. That's never going to happen. This BD 25 you know, Speedy 30, those bags are never going to be discontinued ever in canvas. It's not going to happen. They're classic styles. They were nowhere to be seen. It was crickets, okay, for those bags. But the Emprunt on the goes were everywhere. The leather wave bags were everywhere. And the capucine was everywhere. So the signals are very clear. I think if you are someone who is willing to spend a lot of money buying other things at Louis Vuitton, I think you can access any canvas piece you want at any time through your CA wherever you are in the world. I definitely think that's the same thing for people who are also in Paris. I think if you're someone who just wants to buy a canvas, after a while you might find that your CA might kind of, you know, not be as helpful because they earn pennies from selling canvas. It's a similar situation at Big H. Big H SAs do not earn commission on selling quota bags. If you think about it, this is a business and people earn their living from this. Why would someone sell you lots of like really, really hot canvas pieces that people are desperately trying to score and you're not helping them, you know, earn their living and hit their quota? Louis Vuitton's sales targets are incredibly high. To my knowledge, Big H SAs, they work basically on a pooled commission style, but Louis Vuitton essays that every man and woman for himself or herself over there, okay, everyone has to kind of fight for their own sales. So if you think about it, it makes sense that canvas, some of those like really hot canvas pieces that we all know and love, they're going to really be for people who are spending. And that's not to say that you can't walk in to any Louis Vuitton store and buy canvas. You can walk into the Champs-Elysees today and say, hello, I'd like to buy a never fallen canvas. They're going to sell it to you, but it's not going to be on the shelf, okay? It's not going to be that visible, literally. I remember like walking in the first time thinking I was going to see a ton of canvas. Guess which bag I just saw? My girl, the Dauphine. The Dauphine was looking at me like, again, guess what? I'm the Queen of Paris. I've got the canvas crown on my head. Forget about the Neverfull. Forget about the Alma. And you know why the Dauphine was on the shelf? Because it is one of the most expensive non-leather handbags at that brand. The pricing of the Dauphine is absolute. You know, it's my favorite bag at the house, but it is extortion. It's 2,700 for the full-sized one. Compare that with the Speedy, which is 1,000 euros. Okay. So the Dauphine's looking at me like, again, I've got this crown on my head. I'm the queen of this place. When it pertains to canvas, she's running that place. So you kind of get what I'm trying to say. I was just really struck by, as well, something else, how professional like LV is. I must say, I was telling some of you guys in my Facebook group that I felt like Big H was just excessively formal to my taste. Some of you were like, didn't agree, and that's fine, but I feel like Big H is way too formal. It's just my opinion. But Louis Vuitton, I feel like they got it just right. There is a formality to shopping at Louis Vuitton, but once this the CA gets a feel for you, they really adapt to you. I feel like they've been given some really interesting training on a psychological basis. They can really kind of figure out, like, they can figure you out very quickly, and then they start showing you things that they kind of think that you're gonna like. I don't even know how they figure it out. I mentioned to him just quietly that I like exotics, I like seeing new releases. He brings the Cousin in denim, he brings the Himalayan Alma BB, the Himalayan Capucine BB, just to see like how I would react, you know? So I was just really fascinated by that. If anything, I probably gained even more respect for Louis Vuitton after seeing Louis Vuitton in her home city, because she runs Paris, baby. She runs that place, okay? The queues are proof of it. I'm super curious to know how LV will be moving forward in the future. I just want to be clear about something. I like canvas, okay, duh. My favorite bag there is a canvas bag. I really do like their canvas pieces, but honestly, their leather pieces are fabulous. I think people are just hating on LV. The leather pieces are great. The menswear was so impressive at the Champs-Elysees boutique. I was so impressed with the menswear. This essay was like, would you like to just look at the menswear floor? I was like, yeah, let me look. And he took me around and I was having a look. Lots of clients. It was full of clients there. Their menswear business is really popping. It's like doing very well. I was just impressed with so much there. There's just so much for everyone there. The only thing that Louis Vuitton don't have is a beauty business, and I'm sure that they will launch that eventually. Like once they launch a beauty business, like Chanel should be worried because LV are serious. They're serious, okay, and they're really about it. I would love to know, what is the canvas situation where you are? What do you think of these takeaways from Paris? I would love to know. So I thought it could be really fun to have like a general luxury Q&A for my next video. Like I'll do it at the end of the video. So if you want to ask me fun questions or you want me to react to anything, but in a Q&A format, ask me a question in the comments below, write Q&A, and then I'll react to it. I thought that could be fun for Thursday's video because now I'm back to 3 videos a week. And yeah, I just wanted to update you guys, like please don't forget to join the Facebook group. It's so much fun. I hope that you guys join. It's incredible fun. And also go follow my TikTok and follow my new luxury Instagram. I've been really busy with work, but I'm going to be updating my Instagram today, so I'd love to see you guys on Instagram as well. If you have any questions for me, you can always reach out to me via DM or send me an email. Yeah, LV's our girl, honey. She's our girl. Like Louis Vuitton, Big H and Big C, like we're gonna call her Big L at this point. All 3 of those brands, they are running luxury right now, and Dior and Gucci are on the table as well. I think that those are the 5 big brands, in my opinion. I think that they're the 5 brands that are really just making things happen in luxury. You don't even need to like them, okay? Because I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Dior fan. I do love Gucci though, but I can respect what they're bringing to the table. So I'd love to know what you think of Louis Vuitton's women's spring-summer accessories and the shoes, and what do you think of the takeaways I've shared with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.